The human story is written in our genes, a complex tapestry woven over millennia. Within this intricate code lies a fascinating mystery, the puzzle of Rh-negative blood. This blood type, absent the ubiquitous Rh factor, presents a captivating enigma. Its very existence challenges conventional evolutionary models. How did this variation arise, and why does it persist in certain populations more than others? The Rh factor, named after the rhesus monkeys in which it was first identified, is a protein found on the surface of red blood cells. Most people inherit this factor from their parents, making them Rh positive. However, a smaller percentage of the global population lacks this protein, making them Rh negative. This absence is particularly striking because it seemingly defies the natural selection pressures that typically govern genetic traits. The global distribution of Rh-negative blood presents an even more intriguing puzzle. Its prevalence varies dramatically across geographic regions and ethnic groups. While relatively uncommon in much of the world, it reaches surprisingly high concentrations in certain isolated populations. These pockets of Rh-negative individuals scattered across the globe hint at a shared history, perhaps linked to ancient migrations or cataclysmic events. Understanding the origins and distribution of Rh-negative blood could unlock valuable insights into human evolution, migration patterns, and ancient history. It is a quest that takes us back in time, exploring the forces that shaped our species and left their mark on our very blood. One compelling theory links the survival of Rh-negative individuals to ancient cataclysms and the refuge offered by mountainous regions. Imagine a world reshaped by floods, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions, events that forced early humans to seek shelter in higher ground. These survivors, carrying the Rh-negative gene, may have found sanctuary in mountain ranges like the Pyrenees, the Ethiopian Highlands, and Morocco's Atlas Mountains. These geographically isolated areas, often characterized by harsh conditions and limited resources, could have acted as genetic bottlenecks. Small, isolated populations tend to experience genetic drift, where certain genes, like the one for Rh-negative blood, can become more prevalent over generations, even without offering a specific survival advantage. The Pyrenees, stretching across the border of France and Spain, present a compelling case study. This region, known for its rugged terrain and history of isolation, boasts a higher than average concentration of Rh-negative individuals, particularly among the Basque people. Similarly, the Ethiopian Highlands and Morocco's Atlas Mountains, both geographically isolated and home to unique genetic lineages, also exhibit elevated Rh-negative frequencies. The cataclysm hypothesis, while speculative, offers a tantalizing explanation for the uneven distribution of this blood type. It suggests that ancient disasters, while devastating, may have inadvertently played a role in shaping the genetic makeup of modern populations. To unravel the mystery of Rh-negative blood, we must examine its global distribution. This genetic marker isn't uniformly spread, but clusters in specific populations and geographic locations. This uneven distribution offers clues about potential origins and the forces that shaped its prevalence. Europe presents a fascinating case study. The Basque country, nestled in the Western Pyrenees, stands out with the highest proportion of Rh-negative individuals globally, reaching upwards of 30%. This region, renowned for its distinct language and cultural identity, has long intrigued geneticists. Moving eastward, we observe a gradual decline in Rh-negative frequency across the European continent. Central and Eastern European populations exhibit lower percentages, typically ranging from 10 to 15%. This gradual east-west gradient suggests a westward migration pattern, with the Basque country potentially representing an ancient origin point. Beyond Europe, pockets of Rh-negative individuals appear in other corners of the globe. The prevalence is notably higher among certain groups in the Middle East, particularly those with historical ties to the Caucasus region. Additionally, certain populations in Africa, particularly in the northern and eastern regions, also exhibit higher than average frequencies. This global snapshot reveals a complex and uneven distribution of Rh-negative blood. Its concentration in specific regions, coupled with its relative absence in others, points towards a fascinating interplay of genetic drift, founder effects, and potentially ancient environmental pressures. Section 4. The environment's molding hand ecology and immunity. The distribution of Rh-negative blood may not be solely due to population movements and genetic drift. Environmental factors, particularly those influencing disease susceptibility and immunity, might have played a crucial role. The interaction between genes and the environment, a field known as gene-environment interaction, offers a nuanced perspective on this puzzle. One hypothesis proposes that the Rh-negative blood type conferred a survival advantage in specific environments. For instance, some studies suggest a potential link between Rh-negative blood and increased resistance to certain parasitic infections such as toxoplasmosis. If early Rh-negative individuals were less susceptible to prevalent diseases in their region, they might have enjoyed a survival advantage, passing down this trait to their descendants. Conversely, other environmental pressures might have selected against the Rh-negative gene in certain areas. For example, Rh incompatibility between a pregnant mother and her fetus can lead to complications. In regions where the Rh-negative gene was rare, the chances of such incompatibility were lower, potentially favoring the survival of Rh-positive individuals. Further research is needed to fully understand the complex interplay between Rh blood type and disease susceptibility. However, exploring these potential connections offers valuable insights into the selective pressures that might have shaped the genetic makeup of populations across generations. Section 5. Echoes of the Past, Archaeology and the Flood. The hypothesis linking ancient cataclysms to the distribution of Rh-negative blood finds intriguing support in archaeological evidence. Across the globe, ancient myths and archaeological findings tell tales of devastating floods, events that reshaped landscapes and decimated populations. These stories, passed down through generations, might hold clues to the survival and distribution of Rh-negative individuals. One prominent example is the story of the Great Flood, a narrative found in various forms across cultures and continents. From the biblical account of Noah's Ark to Mesopotamian flood myths, these stories depict a catastrophic deluge that reshaped the world. While often interpreted metaphorically, some researchers suggest these myths may hold echoes of real events, potentially large-scale floods triggered by rising sea levels or glacial melts following the last ice age. Archaeological evidence supports the occurrence of significant flooding events in various parts of the world. Underwater settlements, submerged forests, and geological formations all point towards dramatic shifts in sea levels and water bodies in ancient times. These events would have caused widespread displacement, forcing populations to migrate to higher ground and potentially isolating them in mountainous regions. While a direct link between these ancient floods and the distribution of Rh-negative blood remains speculative, the possibility is intriguing. These cataclysmic events could have created the conditions for genetic bottlenecks, favoring the survival and inheritance of specific traits like Rh-negative blood in isolated populations. Section 6. Whispers in the Wind, Myths and Legends of the Blood. The human fascination with blood runs deep, woven into myths, legends, and cultural beliefs across the globe. Intriguingly, certain populations with high Rh-negative frequencies have folklore and traditions that suggest an awareness of their unique blood lineage. These stories, passed down through generations, offer a glimpse into ancient understandings of heredity and difference. The Basque people, with their exceptionally high Rh-negative rates, provide a compelling example. Basque legends recount tales of their ancestors being descendants of a different bloodline, often attributed to divine or supernatural origins. These stories, while shrouded in mythology, might reflect an ancient awareness of their distinct genetic heritage. Similarly, in Morocco, some Berber communities with high Rh-negative frequencies have oral histories that speak of their ancestors being children of the serpent. While seemingly fantastical, these stories might symbolize a recognition of their unique bloodline, potentially linked to ancient beliefs about serpents possessing healing or regenerative powers. It's important to approach these cultural narratives with sensitivity and avoid misinterpretations. However, their prevalence in regions with high Rh-negative concentrations suggests a potential connection between ancient beliefs and a subconscious awareness of genetic inheritance. These myths and legends, while not concrete evidence, offer a fascinating glimpse into the human relationship with blood and inheritance. They suggest that even in the absence of scientific understanding, ancient cultures might have recognized and attributed significance to variations in blood types.